Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Aisha Majumla and this is Aisha Talks, the safe space. Today we have a very special guest. I have my reasons as to why she's a special guest. Luckily, I think by the end of this video, nyinyi pia mtaona kwa nini she's a special guest. Quinta, please.
Yes, Aisha.
Introduce yourself.
Thank you so much.
And you look nice.
Thank you, thank you. You're looking really nice, Aisha.
Oh, me?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So this was designed and done, tailor-made.
Wow.
By Asali Collections. For more details, to talk about screen.
Nice.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me on your talk show. I've been following it, by the way, and you're doing a really amazing job.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. I'm Quinta Wambulwa. I'm a psychologist and a mental health advocate, founder of G4G Africa Mental Health Foundation. I'm a TV host on Triple P, and I'm yet to be a self-published author.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Thank you.
So, nimesikia mental health, psychologist, G4G, all these things ni kama ambayo zinagusia masuala ya mental health. So, why are you in the mental health business?
Well, I'm passionate about mental health because it is a lifestyle for me and because I battle with anxiety, depression, and bipolar. Yeah.
So how do you battle with all of that and still do all these other things? Tuanzia.
Thank you. I must say it hasn't been an easy task, but it has come with responsibilities. I remember when I started my organization, I was in Rehab.
You are.
In
I think we need to go back before we start the organization. So what happened?
I had a bad breakup, a heartbreak, and with my first love, and it really messed me up. It took a toll on my mental health. I had a nervous breakdown. I found myself coping by using drugs and substance abuse. I was reckless. I was living a reckless life to almost, getting AIDS. I've been suicidal at Nyali Bridge, and that is when my story started. I've been at Nyali Bridge, and I remember the only thing I remember is I was surrounded with guys, and they were so angry at me. Why do you want to commit suicide?
You had no idea. I
had no idea, but of course I've been wanting to do it because I had lost a long-term relationship. We had dated for 8 years with this guy, and I had just had sex with another man, and we didn't use a condom. And I'm being told he's positive. And so there's a lot that I was piling in as a person, and I didn't see the reason of leaving, or rather staying. And so the only option that I had at the time was to commit suicide.
So, sorry, Nikuulize, did you plan natoka nyumbani naenda commit suicide, ama you were just in your...
I was actually walking.
You found yourself there, and what happened?
At the time, I forgot to mention, I graduated last year.
Oh, you did?
Thank you. So I was from school. Usually I used to go to Chuda Water Sport for my gymming. So I was from school, I go to the gym. From gym, I go home. So while at the gym, there were those voices in my head. Quinta, why are you leaving? Quinta, why are you leaving? Look at your life right now. And you see, at the process, I was still contemplating, should I go do the test again and again, because I had already done a number of tests, but I wasn't believing. I was okay.
They said negative?
Yeah, they said negative.
But in your head?
I was positive. And already, you see, I was already using drugs. Nimekonda, lose weight, and people can actually see it. People can actually tell, Quinta amekonda, munona Quinta. And so, yeah, I had AIDS. And actually, the environment around me could actually confirm to me. So the voices in my head were getting, let me say, affirmation from the environment, and it really was speaking loud in my head. And so the only way to, I was like, why would I live? I've just lost an 8-year relationship. I'm now having AIDS. Why would I live?
So in the 8 years, yes, there was the relationship, there were the emotional investments, there were vitu ambazo ulikuwa umezoea. What exactly did you feel like umepoteza?
I lost everything. This is a relationship I had even, let me say, just abandoned my family at the expense of my family relationship for this. Because I remember coming to Campo, my parents didn't want really to bring me to Campo at the time because of the relationship. And this guy, because he was rich, he had accepted to pay for my fee. So kuna ile kiburi liko imeningia ile, I don't need parents anymore. I have someone who can cater the bills, So I don't, and already I'm showing my parents, I don't need you anymore. Ushaona, it was like, the attitude, So I had that attitude to them. And so when I had invested all that in this relationship, and then he cheats, I find him in bed with a woman, it really shattered me down because this is something I had built with my everything. So this is something I had invested my whole being, and I had identified who I was through this relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Quinta was without this man. I didn't know who Quinta was without all these riches, to be honest. So I had just lost all of that, and then now here I've just messed up. And there's a lot of chaos happening in my life. And before I realize it, I'm using drugs. I have changed. I've become a loner. You see, I was very extroverted. For those who knew me earlier, knew Quinta was a model, Quinta was this, Quinta was that. But all of a sudden,
was all that lifestyle that came with it because the guy was rich.
Very.
So how did you manage to get out of that scenario? Nyadi bridge na kutaka commit suicide?
I was taken to Mombasa Hospital. It's under the bridge pale. So nikifika pale, people are asking, why does she, there's a lot of commotion. And so I tell them I'm actually HIV positive. And they're like, let's do the testing. And you see, and I'm always with those papers, by the way. I am negative, but psychologically, I know I'm sick. And even the environment around me knows I'm sick, and even the body itself, So they do the test, the ELISA, I am okay and super okay, but I still don't believe.
It is not HIV that you're suffering
So this guy is,
it's a mental
thing. So that is when I had mental illness. That was my first time to hear mental illness. That is the first time I'm getting to understand because I had to tell them where I'm coming from. So I had to narrate all this, the heartbreak, because it was happening bit by bit. So So after explaining my story to them, they actually had to tell me the trauma responses. You see, you have to understand whatever you're going through so that you can even heal. So they had to actually narrate it to me. No, so I was sent over to Kenyatta. There was a referral that was done. So I was sent to Nairobi, not Mombasa, sorry. So I went to Nairobi at Kenyatta. Getting to Kenyatta, of course, my situation was, again, I was addicted.
Okay.
So now I'm being taken to a rehab. And you see, life is moving on.
Yeah.
Parents don't know what's going on. The ex doesn't know what's happening. I'm just battling this alone. But I had to speak to my cousin. She works at Kenyatta. So I was at rehab for 1.5 months. But in rehab, it's when I actually realized all this that was happening. The first cause of it was the heartbreak. So I was in denial. The root cause of all this was a heartbreak. And I had dated a narcissist because he had wired my mind completely. So at the back of my mind, I knew there was no life if not with this man. So, and he really wired my mind to that extent of now me getting to accept I have AIDS, now nitatulia. You see how my mind wanted.
I deserved that.
Yeah. I have to actually, it's like my mind was saying, how can I live when I'm healthy? There's no possibility. When you date a narcissist, there's a way they wire your mind. And I dated him at a very younger age. I was, I think, 16. Yeah, when I started dating him. So he wired my mind from 16 to... Yeah, he was older by me, I think by 7 years. At the time. Yeah. So you see how my mind was wired from a very younger age. And here I am at 21. That's when it happened. I really don't know how my mind is actually the environment that me and him, just me and him. So I don't know who Quinta in that third world.
And your family back home, after you had already had that
the heartbreak.
After the heartbreak and the hospital?
It wasn't easy because I remember when I spoke to my mom, she was like, you guys have dated for quite a while, 8 years, you've had issues and you can just sort them out. So that was for my mom. For my dad, I couldn't even include him because this is a man who was already not for the idea of this relationship. So this was meant for the taking. Again, I'm facing shit, but there's the guilt that comes my parents walinikataza. So again, I needed to just suffer this alone. Like it was mine for the taking. Yeah. So at the rehab, through now counseling and then antidepressants and then just praying. There's a pastor who used to come talk to me because I spoke to my cousin, and you see I'm from a very humble background, by the way. We are very religious. My dad ni mkubwa wa church, mom, mimi hapo, you know. Yeah. So it was really let me say I was not going back to who I was. You know, I was fine. Actually, my parents would be happy, like finally our daughter is now coming back, you know.
So yeah, after rehab, did you go back to school?
Yeah, sure. I remember when I was in rehab and I was like, I've gone through a lot and people didn't know. Let me be the voice that has not been heard.
And is that when you started the G4G?
That's when I started Girls for Girls, Africa Mental Health Foundation. I became a feminist by nature, and I was like, girls go through a lot, and from a younger age, I have grown up in just seeing the men provide. So even in relationships, I feel like the man is the one to be providing, because growing up in an environment where the father is always the one providing, as a girl, you automatically become a submissive.
Yeah.
Subconsciously or even, you know, unconsciously, you just become that. So even in relationship, that's what you try to portray because that is what you've seen in your first caregivers.